Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I guess it's almost noon here, so afternoon. I hope everyone's having a great day today. I woke up and I about had a knip because my internet wasn't working, and I've talked to him on the phone a couple times, and I'm like, oh my god, I got 2 more days until it's shut off, 2 more days to find the money to pay for it, besides rent, heat, and cell phone, which is $35 in my case. Wi-Fi is pretty essential to me because as much as I try to do everything, follow what they want me to do, and this is the biggest lesson, through all this that I'm going through, and it's really hard to break free from, especially if you're kind of used to being in that mold, but it's stop living other people's expectations for you. And it has to be applied with my family or the medical industry. And I just keep getting opportunities to present themselves, and we keep getting the same test until we pass it. So there's some words of wisdom for you on this Sunday. I don't know why it's like people in church are all like, be more than a Sunday Christian, and then we say that out here too. But we still like honor the tradition of that more so, or Saturday, I guess. So I guess I want to, and hopefully this doesn't shut off on me. My storage problems, and I've got like 3 other devices, and I just can't figure them out. I can't wrap my head around it. It's not compatible. There's stuff going on that I need help with. Sorry, hard to hold my head up, so I get a prop. Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't shut off. But I wanted to read Psalm 10, and is the cry for the oppressed. And interestingly, in my Bible, I put in little parentheses after they're homeless, because when I read it, it must have really reminded me of what's going on with the homeless population. And I am reading from the Passion Translation, which is a newer one, and it's pretty cool. So, Psalms 10, the cry of the oppressed. Lord, you seem so far away when evil is near. Why do you stand so far off as though you don't care? Why have you hidden yourself when I need you the most? The arrogant in their elitist pride persecute the poor and helpless. And I have that highlighted. So let me read it again. The arrogant in their elitist pride persecute the poor and helpless. In the Bible, kids. May you pour upon them the very evil they've planned against others. How they brag and boast of their cravings, exalting the greedy. They congratulate themselves as they despise you. Wow. The arrogant ones, so smug and secure. Got that highlighted too. So smug and secure. That's why I like this translation. These arrogant ones, so smug and secure. In their delusion, the wicked boast, saying, God doesn't care about what we do. There's nothing to worry about. Our wealth will last a lifetime. Oh my goodness. Wow. So seemingly successful they are in their schemes, prosperous in all their plans, and scoffing at any restraint. They boast that neither God nor men will bring them down. They sneer at all their enemies, saying in their hearts, dry mouth, we'll have success in all we do and never have to face trouble. Never realize they are speaking this in vain. Man, boy, is that true. Where was I? Blah, 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 blah. Their mouths spout out cursing, lies, and threats. Only trouble and turmoil come from all their plans. Like beasts lurking in the shadows of the city, they crouch silently in ambush for the people to pass by. There's one for the TIs. Pouncing on the poor, they catch them in their snare, to murder their prey in secret as they plunder their helpless victims. They crush the lowly as they fall beneath their brutal blows, watching the victims collapse in defeat. Then they say to themselves, the lofty one is not watching while we do this. He doesn't even care. We can get away with it. Now is the time to arise, Lord. Crush them once and for all. Don't forget the forgotten and the helpless. How dare the wicked think they'll escape judgment, believing that you would not call them to account for all their ways. Don't let the wicked get away with their contempt of you. Lord, I know you see all that they're doing, noting their each and every deed. You know the trouble and turmoil they've caused. Now punish them for all that they've done. The poor and helpless ones trust in you, Lord. Man. For you are famous for being the helper of the fatherless. I know you won't let them down. That's the song we sing in church. Break the power of the wicked and all their strong arm tactics. Oh, man, I got that highlighted too. Wow. Is that on a picture or something? Break the power of the wicked and all their strong arm tactics. Search them out and destroy them for the evil things they've done. You, Lord, are king forever and ever. Amen. You will see to it that all the nations perish from your land. Lord, you know and understand all the hopes of the humble, and will hear their cries and comfort their hearts, helping them all. Our answer is in the Lord. The orphans and the oppressed will be terrified no longer, for you will bring them justice, and no one will trouble them. I find it's interesting that, well, the church needs a lot of missionaries, for one, but if you're like in the church scene and you're, in their denominations and you're okay by them and everything, then you can be a missionary of the church and speak. And if you can, just sneak it in here and there, you can sneak in some truth and be like, we are as a church doing this and that and this and that. But if you're on the outside, then you're being accused of judging. But it's interesting that King David, man after God's own heart here, keeps talking about they and them while he defends the homeless. So if you're getting persecuted for doing what you're doing, like I'm having to do, and basically tell the truth of your story, don't feel ashamed. One reason I have storage problems with my phone is because a whole lot of videos from back when I was sicker didn't get posted because I said one thing that sort of portrayed the truth of those that should be helping me not. But it's gotten uglier since then, and so I'm just going to post some more videos, and some of them might be back from when I started this at the beginning of the summer. So much dry mouth. Yeah, so one thing I noticed sort of looking back at some of these old videos, I'm trying to clear space, is that my physical health was a lot worse, especially like following that CAT scan when things got really bad, and I started doing this. But I was more hopeful. And now my physical health has improved a bit, but it's basically become finalized. And part of my frustration is just trying to give my family another chance to change their side of the story. They're not okay with me speaking the truth, but they're writing their own story. And the truth of it is, and I might sound like a brat on these, but I've went through 3 Facebook fundraisers, maybe put up a 4th and then deactivated out of just frustration. I do that. But, there were a few of my kiddos, my daughter's friends. There were probably 3 people maybe that shared my Facebook fundraiser out of all that time. And those that donate, that gets posted. And it's not to brag, but it actually helps people in need see that it gives it validity, and it advertises it and promotes that fundraiser. And so what's broken my heart has been so frustrating is that, nobody's been willing to donate a single not nobody. I've had a handful of donors, and I've had a few people that really have stepped in to help me in a way that is sacrifice and kind of stayed with me and going the distance. But oh gosh, Lord, let me remember, because it's gonna shut off. But I understand if you're financially strapped and you can't help. I say that I'm not trying to be expectant. I say that, but at the same time, me having been bedridden for many, many years and chronically ill for many more, I just recently, well, it had been almost a year ago, gave $20 to my daughter Shriner's Facebook fundraiser as somebody in a really tough situation. So I get it, but I don't, but not even sharing it. So basically what that is telling me about everybody out there is that they still don't want to believe what's going on, which is sad. There's so much proof. And I've really just been I haven't been harassing my family. I mean, yeah, I can sound like a bit of a jerk when I get frustrated, when it doesn't seem my life is worth $20 to anyone or a Facebook share. But it would have been so easy, Our sister's struggling, and she hasn't been able to work, and she's really, really sick and needs treatment that she can't pay for. I don't know why that's so unreasonable. Anyways, yeah, it just goes to show me that you don't believe me, you don't support me, and you don't believe that my life is worth treating, and that my talent and God's purposes for my life isn't worth being protected. So, but anyways, so I just had to plug in my router, and I still got a couple days, and it's going to come through because I went from business to residential, and I don't know what I do after that. But I always write down things, like from research or commercials, and they want to give me knips like this one as I was going through papers. A single routine skin examination can often open a broad differential diagnosis and lead to improved patient care. Yeah, right. But you get refused the biopsy by the dermatologist with a hole in your head. Okay. And maybe I'll make this in a separate small one because I like that people might watch those. They're super short. Yeah. So I guess I just wanted to read that Psalms. It's pretty amazing. And I want to say in closing that please give the Lord and the Word another chance. If you've been hurt by Christians, and so many of us have been hurt by Christians and the church system and religion, but quite unfortunately, it's 99% religion, and Jesus was against religion. He opposed religion. So if the religious have hurt you and they make you sick, well, this guy here, he has a lot to say about that, and so if you're searching for answers, he's waiting at your door knocking, and the truth is there. And through your situation, a lot of people read this, and I did for so many years. I went to theology school. I went to Oral Roberts as a graphic design student before that, and then Kenneth Hagin's Rhema Church. Kenneth Hagin preceded The Secret, basically. Same exact message. Except for Jesus is the universe. And a lot of times things start out good, and then the enemy comes in to corrupt him because he knows his time is coming close to an end, his rule and reign on this earth. And that's why God isn't doing this stuff. He knows his rule and his reign is coming to an end, and so he's working very hard with those that have the power to, really keep some of us end-time warriors really suppressed. And this is the kind of thing you don't want to say to your psychiatrist if you need disability. And I should do a separate video about when I went to that little appointment. Basically, nothing mattered. He was fishing for the fact that I had looked up my condition on the internet, and because he asked that twice, and then he said, "What do you do in bed all day?" I said, "Well, I try to read." I was able to better then. What kind of books do you read? Spiritual books. And then again, that question was repeated at the end. So just a warning, and hopefully things have changed. That was a year and a half ago, and hopefully with the information being corrected, that things are changing with the psychiatrist. Of course, if they've got government, state, and financial interest in protecting the budget, even though that's insurance we've paid into, then yeah, that's just what's going to happen. Although, if a blind person looked it up on the internet about blindness, I guess they wouldn't be blind. I mean, why don't they apply that same thing to all the other diseases? Well, I know why. It's because of what the accusation of what they were trying to say Morgellons was, is they've desperately been trying to cover it up for years. And you got to wonder why on that. But I talk about that in other videos and stuff. So, yeah, I pray for everyone that's struggling. I pray for finances to get you through this situation. I pray for strength in your weakness, and in our weakness, God can be made even stronger. And I just pray for answers, and then I pray for those outside of you to have their eyes opened to the truth. You know, as they've been put in your life and through this situation that's been allowed, they are put in a place where they can be God's hands on this earth. All this stuff is preached about, unfortunately, in my case. And I was a preacher. In fact, when the guys were on a missionary trip to Amazon or something, us ladies would get to do a sermon. And back when I had my band, before I got pushed out the first time, and I spoke, the congregation really liked it, and they asked my dad to let me speak once a month. And that didn't happen. And we had, and I don't want to boast, but the last time I did, before this other last time, I was pushed out of church, out of my dad's church that I grew up in. Before this last time I was pushed out of church, there were a couple new members added the Sunday they spoke. And it was super anointed, and so I don't want to boast or anything, but maybe through this, God will use me to possibly do some of these little mini sermons, and mostly it's going to be reading the Word, because that's what a sermon should be. It shouldn't be a couple scriptures and a bunch of opinion. It should be mostly scriptures and maybe a couple explanations or references or stories that, you know, go with that. Historical facts are really good too. Fortunately, I grew up in a church, and I can't make a percentage, but a lot of it was just basically going against all the other churches and why they were so wrong. And so I just can't be a part of that anymore. And we find we've got to get the negativity out of our lives. And it's sad. My family's divided this Thanksgiving, but it's all my fault. It's all my fault for being chronically ill and getting chronically ill. And like I said, before the frustration and me looking like a jerk, there's been 2 years of me actually trying to beg and plead with my family, show them the proof, get my photographer sister to take better pictures of it that are more detailed. I had even set up family support doctors' appointments, which they won't go to. They act all concerned, but they won't look at any of the scientific evidence. They won't look at any of my photographic evidence. They won't go to a doctor's appointment with me. Why do we not listen to our family members and believe them, but we'll listen to others? Because of, a friend of theirs had a little kid that just got infected and drove to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, out of state, about 5 hours from where I live, and was treated fairly quickly because they caught it right away. And free consultation. Well, they still got to pay the $2,000 Eugenics. He still charges that lab, which is the same exact thing I'd get an hour away to be treated in state. But they were all for, you know, me going and getting a free consultation because they thought I would just get healed right away. Well, no, if you look on the website, I would actually have to go every week for years, which would be really expensive. And that Dr. in Coeur d'Alene isn't just giving everyone free hygienics and diagnostics, you know, and then you go on your way and go get treated close to your home because that's more practical. They wanted to see on paper. I've had Facebook fundraisers up to get the hygienics. So it's insane. So I'm sorry when I talk about the frustration. It's just really ridiculous on my end, and maybe you're experiencing the same thing. And I post my story, and I think about other people when I'm talking about my thing. And we have to put our stories up about how severe this is getting so that others will listen and believe. People have stopped listening and believing to me a long time ago. The people in my community anyways, or the people around me, my family. But, I mean, put yourselves in the situation of a chronically ill person. You've left them behind. You know, it's my fault we're divided for Thanksgiving, but, you know, I just need your support. Share the Facebook fundraiser. I mean, they've got way more than $20. They could have, I mean, really, they needed to get a benefit together for me with their members in town, and they're popular and connected, and I kind of sort of was before a decade ago when I got very chronically ill. I've been chronically ill a lot longer than that, but it got to that next level where I lost my social life completely, and little about halfway functional, maybe, if you'd call it that. So anyways, oh geez, now I'm getting all jumbled up. And I'm at 22 minutes. So I don't know. I'm going to call this off. I do have other notes on that I'm going to do a separate video on. Please support your family. I need to look at other people's videos too and situations because I want to get connected. I need support so badly. I need family. I've lost mine. I was saying before, put yourself in your shoes. People are like dying and barely like pulling themselves across the floor, and you're standing down there sneering, and I'm saying, no, this really isn't happening. And you know, even though you have absolutely no knowledge or expertise or education or experience concerning this, your opinion's always right. You know, I mean, would you, as a sick person, want to be around them? And is it healthy to be around people that are bringing us down and causing us pain? God, we're going through so much. We don't need any more pain from people around us. And judgment, condemnation, and shame thrown our way. Anyways, more of my story will be continued, and you can see more if you'd like. Reach out to me. I'd love to reach out back to you. Sorry I don't always get to the comments and stuff and replies. I appreciate them so much. It's just, I'm so struggling up there, and yeah. Anyways, I'll continue later, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Feel free to share anything if it helps you in your situation, and maybe, I don't know if I'm all that credible. I'm beginning to believe I'm a weirdo. You know, we throw these things at people that we say we want to get better, and we say we care about, and we say we love, but you're hurting people when you throw negative psychology at them that you know nothing about. It can actually manifest. That's the power of your words. That's prophecy. And prophecy is supposed to be speaking the word. There's negative faith. There's this huge power in your words. And we'll talk more about that in another video. You gotta watch what you say. You gotta stay a step ahead of the game. You gotta be aware. And I need to listen to some Erica Tedline this morning. That was gonna be my Sunday morning church, but got caught up on trying to clear space and figure out all my technology. But it's so weird. Oh man, those videos are so powerful. If I wasn't waiting for a hearing here, I'd probably be at that healing home. but there's a lot of resistance in our flesh. And these suckers that don't want to die, it's all connected. And so we resist some of those things sometimes that help us the most. It's really hard to change habits. Writing things down is important. I used to be able to write things down, make them happen. There's stuff getting in the way. So obviously, this is more in the psychological. Gosh, I wish I just had a live cam going, or somebody could document me all the time to see the other times besides when we're making these videos. Anyways, I'm gonna go again. I keep saying it. Have a great day. Check out my videos if you'd like. Comments and I try to get with you. Don't be ignorant and comment on my stuff. It's so funny. People comment about my situation. I'm like, oh, I see in your avatar it's you and a supporter and a partner. I'm all here alone with this. So unless you're all alone trying to take care of yourself with this, with no support system in place financially, and I've had supporters, and so I shouldn't trip about it, but it's not guaranteed, and I got to keep doing this. So unless you're all alone and you don't have that in place and you've been dealing with this over a couple decades, you can help me, you can offer me advice, that's great, but don't throw your ignorance away and don't compare my situation to yours. Appreciate it. You guys are great. Everyone means well. Everyone's doing the very best where they are with what they have. And so you have to pity those that are super ignorant. Gotta pray for them. If you love them, which I really truly do love these people, and even though I don't know if they're gonna be in my life, I wouldn't even enjoy being around them. I wouldn't enjoy their company. I don't like the spirit that they operate in, but that's what you got to realize, is that there's a spirit behind it all. And if you have light and truth and you're one going through this suffering, you're being refined by fire, you're being turned into a diamond, and it's hard to see underlying stuff, but sometimes there's actually jealousy. I'm just going to be honest. Some of this is jealous hating. Why would somebody hate you in your situation when you're struggling so bad and they have so much, everything, far more to spare? And you've even helped them. You've even given them that hand up. You've helped them out, but when you need help, they're not there for you. Lost it. Oh, the jealousy. It might be there, but it's spiritual. They don't see your bright light. They don't see your potential. They don't see what's being attacked. And I'm sorry, so that's a big debate. In my situation, and I'll do a whole different video about it, I can say that with me and my siblings in these situations, I was the one that was attacked. And I'll put more details of that in other videos. Pretty insane. It's going to be my life story one. But I was the one that was attacked. And this is my life story. I've actually had my sister try to turn me into the cops for this. And I'm like, great. Oh, if they want to talk about defamation of character, I would love to discuss that with them. Because I'm having a problem because of the welfare check you guys called. But, okay, it's time to go. See you later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.